Hello there YouTube, Kenny here, also known as SilentFan85. Welcome to a little tutorial. I've had a couple of friends and a couple of viewers ask me about Bandicam. Bandicam is the software I use to record all my gameplay, my screen recordings like I'm doing now, tutorials, stuff like that. It's some of the best software I've ever come across, and it's fairly cheap as well compared to most recording software. You can check out the website. It'll be listed down below. If you've never used Bandicam, I highly suggest it. It's just great to have. Some of the best features that really stand out to me is the pause button. You can press pause, and what it'll do is it'll pause the recording. You can take a break, you can work on a project, and then come back, unpause, and you can show what you've done. And what it does is it automatically cuts the video from the pause point to the unpause point, so you don't have to worry about rendering different scenes. And so it saves on rendering time. It saves me a whole lot of rendering time because let's say you're working on a big project like an arc, when I do, like I'm building something or I'm taming a dino, and you know it's going to take an hour, hour and a half. You don't have to do two separate recordings, or you don't have to do an hour and a half of video. You can just pause once the taming's done, come back and show what's going on. So that's one of the best things I've seen when it comes to the software. Also, the webcam integration is terrific. There are different settings you can use for it. Of course, you can assign where everything wants to go here, the video size, margins from left to the top. That'll show how far it is away from the edge and from the top of the edge. You can also do a preview, stuff like that. It's just really, really awesome. You can also integrate a logo. You can upload a picture to put it just like on the video. You can choose where it goes. Effects. This is a mouse effect. The highlight effect will put like a small circle around your mouse. Click effect will be like a ripple wave that'll come out from where you click at. So that's very awesome. Recording priority. I keep this at normal, but if you have a very taxing game, you might choose high, but I wouldn't suggest it. I wouldn't choose highest either. I keep it at normal, especially if you have a lower end computer, because while Bandicam is excellent for recording, it doesn't take up a whole lot of memory. If you put it at higher priority, Windows will make it a higher priority, and it can really affect your gameplay. So something to keep in mind. Skip recording while frame is not updated. I'm not entirely sure what that means, to be honest. Maybe somebody can explain it down in the comments, but used enhanced capture method, faster, Windows 8 or above. If you have Windows 7, I wouldn't try it. I tried using it with Windows 7, and every so often you would see like the colors kind of get out of sync, and it got crazy, so I definitely wouldn't suggest it. And of course you have your sound setup. Well, another great thing about Bandicam is that it gives you different options for recording your audio. Number one, you can save your audio tracks as WAV files. And you can go back and edit it in a video editor. And again, you got two different recording sound devices. You can make them all into one track, which is what I do, which is great. I find it very useful. But again, you can unclick that to do two different audio tracks, one for your game sound, one for your mic sound. That is very useful if you have a game, or for example, just recently I reviewed a game that didn't have any volume control. So I recorded my microphone separate using this function, just unchecking it, and reapplied the audio in an editor, rendered it, and it turned out great. So something you can do. And you can also assign a hotkey to just record your mic while you push a button, so you don't have to leave it open like I do all the time. So it's something really useful. That's that's some of the best things about Bandicam. And again, you've also got a screenshot function, which is really cool. You can capture image. You got your output, or you can choose your format, quality, hotkey, and the shutter sound to make sure you got the screenshot, which is really cool. And of course your quality. I tend to go with PNG or JPEG high quality. PNG and JPEG high quality are great for thumbnails. Something to keep in mind. I tend to put my thumbnails at try to put it at least 1280 by 720. That way there's a good view of it. I use bfunky.com to add any text and stuff. The output is just where your files are going to come out. You can of course play, edit, upload. If you click on edit, there is Bandicut, which I've never used Bandicut. I've never had to, but it's something you can try out. But that'll just launch that. General, of course, just shows your output folder. Set a timer for auto start recording, start full screen recording on Bandicam startup. And probably one of the other greatest features of Bandicam is Autocomplete. What you can do, what Autocomplete is once you, let's say you set it to recording time, once you reach 10 minutes, it'll cut off. And then it'll do one of the following down below here. You can do nothing, start new recording, stop recording and exit Bandicam, or you can even shut down your computer. It can do the same thing with file size. Say you're having to upload but you have a slow connection. So if you want to upload small video files, you can set a limit for what Bandicam will recognize. So if you only wanted to record 300 megabytes, 2 gigs, once it reaches that limit, it'll cut off and do another one. So that's one of the coolest features about it. But again, the thing that really makes it for me is the pause button. The pause button is glorious. In a recent update, it added device recording mode. This will record your webcam and an HDMI capture device. This is great for outside sources with using, say, an Elgato recorder or something like that that you have jacked into your PC. So, as for if it'll work for console recording, obviously Bandicam isn't available as software on a console, but if you have your console hooked up to your PC with an HDMI input, it might work. It might, I'm not sure, I've never tested it, but it's something you can try out. But game recording mode is the one you're going to want the most. That is the one that captures all your gameplay. And it's, again, the easiest thing to do. One thing to keep in mind when you're doing game recording mode... Oh, no, we want to keep it going here. You can choose... Let's see, let me find it. Okay, so I keep my file type at MP4. Of course, you have your FPS here. I'm going to set this back to 30. 30 is what you'll use most of the time. If you have a game that can hit about 70 to 80 FPS, you can try 60. But unless your video keeps at a solid 60 frames per second, it's not going to really help you. In fact, it may even hurt your video, so something to keep in mind. Quality, I keep mine at 90. That's just the quality of the video that it's going to capture. If you put it to 100, it does drop the FPS a little bit, not a whole lot, but 90 I've found is just a great setting to have. So anyway, that's just some of the features of Bandicam. Hope you find it useful. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them down below. Like, subscribe, comment. I hope this is helpful. And I'm going to use it most of the screen now since I've only used, this half of the screen, which makes the recording kind of odd. But anyway, remember, you're an awesome person. Never let the world tell you otherwise. And for now, I'll say salute. See ya.